The Bursting Bears and the Trouble with Friends. When making friends, the cub who's wise is the cub who learns to compromise. The Bursting Bears' Trouble with Friends. Sister and brother bear, who lived with their mama and papa in the big tree house down a sunny dirt road deep in bear country, were not only sister and brother, they were playmates and they got along pretty well. Most of the time. But brother was quite a lot older than sister, almost 2 years, and sometimes he wasn't much interested in the game she wanted to play, especially when sister got a little bossy, which she sometimes did. Now, we're going to play tea party. You sit there and be the papa, and I'll sit here and be the mama, she said one day she came out of the tree house with a big armload of her dolls and stuffed animals. Aw, gee, sis, I'm too old to play tea party. Why, if Cousin Fred or any of the guys saw me, I'll never hear the end of it. Why don't you find somebody your own age to play tea party with? Said brother. Besides, I have a date to go skateboarding with Freddie. And off he zoomed, leaving sister all alone by her lonesome. All right, for you, she shouted. Oh dear, there goes brother off to play with Freddie again. I do wish sister had somebody her own age to play with, said Mamma, who was watching from the treehouse window. What about her school friends? Asked Papa, joining her at the window. They all live too far away. Sighed Mamma as she watched lonesome sister pick up her trusty jump rope and start playing with a friendly frog. Soon a butterfly joined in. She has her forest friends, the frogs and butterflies, to play with, said Papa. Frogs and butterflies are all very well, but they're not the same as having a cub friend her own age, said Mamma. That's when Mamma saw the moving truck out of the corner of her eye. Look, a new family moving into the empty treehouse down the road. It certainly would be nice if they had a cub sister's age, she said. Sister saw the truck too, and the car following it. Somebody is moving into the empty treehouse. I wonder if they have any cubs, she said, and off she skipped down the road to investigate. The truck stopped at the empty house and the moving bears began to unload it. The car pulled in behind the truck and the new family got out. There was a mama, a papa, and a little girl cub just about sister's age. Sister could hardly believe her good luck. Just what she needed, a little girl cub to jump rope, play tea party, and house and school, and have all kinds of cub fun with. She could hardly wait to say hello. She skipped over and introduced herself. Hi, I'm Sister Bear. I'm 6 years old, and I just live down the road, said Sister. Hi, I'm Lizzie Bruin. This is my mama and papa, Mr. and Mrs. Bruin. I'm 6 years old, too. May I try your jump rope? I can do red hot pepper, said the new cub. And could she ever? Lizzie Bruin was the fastest jump roper Sister had ever seen. I can jump to 1,000, said Sister. I can do 1,001, said Lizzie, returning the rope. 1,002, snapped Sister. 1,003, said Lizzie. Well, we'll just see about that. Let's have a jump off here and now, said Sister, Let's not say we did. Say, isn't that a playground over there? Last one there was a rotten egg, said Lizzie, and off she ran with Sis doing her best to catch up. Well, the new cub is certainly a little lively little thing. She may be just what Sister needs, said Mamma. Sister and Lizzie had quite an afternoon. They climbed to the top of the jungle gym, rode the seesaw, and pushed each other on the swings. They played tag, laughed and giggled, rolled down a grassy bank, and picked wildflowers for their mammas. Why, thank you, sister. How lovely. Well, what's your new friend like? Said Mamma, putting her wildflowers in water. Her name is Lizzie. She's 6 years old. She's an only cub, and she's a little bossy, Sister said. Oh, well, you certainly seem to be having fun, said Mamma. Oh, yes, I had a lot of fun. A little bossy and a little braggy, said Sister. The next morning, bright and early, the phone rang. It was Sister's new friend, Lizzie. Want to come over and play school? Asked Lizzie. Okay, said Sister. Bring some of your dolls and stuffed animals, because mine aren't unpacked yet, added Lizzie. So Sister gathered up her favorite dolls and stuffed animals and headed for the treehouse down the road. Come on in here. My mama and papa are still fixing up and putting away, so we're going to play in here. Who did you bring? Called Lizzie. My best doll and stuffed animals. This is my special teddy that I've slept with every night since I was a baby, said Sister. Lizzie had set up the garage like a schoolroom. There were boxes for the pupils to sit on, and there was another box for the teacher's desk. There was even a blackboard and chalk for lessons. This is gonna be fun, thought Sister Bear as she began setting her toys on boxes. That's when she heard the tapping sound. It was Lizzie tapping on the desk. She had a pretend pointer in one hand and a piece of chalk in the other. Please be seated, sister. It's time for your lessons. Today I'm going to teach you the alphabet. The first letter of the alphabet is, began Lizzie. Now just a minute. Who said you were going to be the teacher when I want to play school? I'm the teacher, and not only that, I already know my ABCs, protested Sister. Sister Bear, if you don't sit down this minute, I'm going to keep you after school, said Lizzie. Is that so? Well, if you don't give me that pointer, I'm going to keep you after school, shouted Sister. That's when Sister grabbed the pointer. Yes, Sister grabbed the pointer. Soon they were rolling around on the floor, wrestling for the pointer, which broke in two. Now look what you did! You broke my best pointer, shouted Lizzie. I'm not going to play with you ever again. I'm going to take my dolls and go home, shouted Sister. Sister's mad, and I'm glad, shouted Lizzie as Sister marched home out of the garage. Lizzie, Lizzie in a tizzy, Sister shouted back. Back so soon? Asked Mamma when Sister returned looking like a storm cloud. I am never going to play with that Lizzie Bruin again. She's much too braggy and bossy. I don't need her to play school or anything else. It's much better than playing by yourself. When you play by yourself, you can do what you want, when you want, without having to worry about that Lizzie Bruin, shouted Sister. That's true. Of course, there are some things you really can't do very well by yourself, said Mamma in a quiet voice. Like what? Asked Sister. You've had a pretty hard time pushing yourself on the swing, and I'd like to see you ride a seesaw by yourself. Most games like hopscotch and jacks take at least two to play, and it's certainly nice to have someone to laugh and giggle with, said Mamma. Maybe so, but Lizzie is much too much braggy and bossy. Why does she have to be the teacher when we play school? Said Sister. It seems to me, said Mamma, taking Sister on her lap, that Lizzie isn't the only cub that's braggy and bossy sometimes. And of course, there is one thing you can do much better by yourself. What's that, Mamma? Asked Sister. Be lonesome, said Mamma quietly, and that's when someone knocked on the door. It was Lizzie, and she was carrying Sister's teddy. When Sister took all her dolls and went home, she forgot her teddy. And well, I knew it was her special favorite, since she slept with it since she was a baby, and I thought she might miss it, she said. Well, thank you, Lizzie. That was very thoughtful of you, said Mamma. Thank you very much, said Sister, hugging her teddy. And you can be the teacher if you want to, said Lizzie. Or we can take turns being the teacher, said Sister. Terrific, said Lizzie. Great, said Sister, gathering up her doll and stuffed animals again. Last one back to your garage is a rotten egg. And off she scooted, laughing and giggling with Lizzie, scampering after her. The end.